Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from TW White & Sons. We've taken this car in part exchange only yesterday. It was yesterday evening, didn't have a chance to clean it. So we had it cleaned up this morning, ready for its photos and video. Now, we're very excited to have this car as a part of our used car offering because we just don't have Mazda 3s of this age and this sort of price range. And these represent incredible value for money. A colleague and I, we were having a chat this morning, and we actually personally think that these are probably the best off the Mazda 3s. Now, the new one is absolutely fine, but the price bracket was just ever so slightly higher than these. So these are really good value for money. They're incredible spec, super reliable. Yeah, and a good all-round car. Now, we don't get many of them back now, so we had a little wager this morning. I won't tell you how what my prediction is, but we had a little wager to see how long we would have this car in stock. So I'm sort of hurrying along here on a Friday afternoon to get this car online and see if we get any bites over the weekend. Now, it's a 2-litre Sport. It's the 120 PS. Yeah, that's the majority of these were sold with that engine, and it was registered on the 31st of August 2017. Now, we didn't sell this car to the original owner. This came from Invicta Motors, which I don't even know, they're no longer, down in Tunbridge Wells. Gentleman lived over that way. Now, he bought it as, like, he's the second owner on the V5, but it was registered on the 31st of August 2017 by the dealer, I'd imagine to hit their target, yeah, last day of the month. That's generally how it works in the motor trade. So one day, if this was registered one day later, it would actually be a 67 plate. Makes no odds, it really doesn't. But it's, I say, registered 31st of August 2017, and it also has the black leather. So I'd imagine this was probably their showroom car. So a gentleman bought it with no miles, and then he had it serviced with them. I've got the service record in the car, which I shall share with you. Now, the car is due a service. It's got about 220 days left on its MOT, but I'll MOT it at the same time. The wheels have the odd curb, as do 99.9% of all the cars we take in part exchange. So I shall have these professionally refurbished. There's some slight grazes there. A little observation I had, and a good sign of ownership. The tyres are Goodyear Eagle F1 tyres. They are incredibly expensive, incredibly good tyres. And this car is wearing what looks to me as a fairly new set of tyres. And I always find, when cars get a little bit older and people are putting, very good quality tyres on their car, they certainly look after them, and that's definitely the case with this vehicle. Now, it's a pearlescent white, so you can probably see like a little sort of oyster. Is it oyster? Oyster effect? Oysters? No, what am I thinking? Pearl, sorry. Oysters, what am I thinking? Pearl effect there, so it's like a pearlescenty paint, which is very nice indeed. You've got reverse sensors on the rear and on the front, and a camera at the rear. It's a colour camera, and we'll show you that when we go inside. Now, you've got a very good sized boot. Let me take these overmats out. We've got the original overmats. My valeter puts them in the boot. I don't know why, instead of putting them back in the car. But you've got a very good boot space, so this would be an ideal family car if you've got a young child or you have a dog. You've got these little compartments as well to put things. This is a good size boot, a good usable space. And of course, if you need more space, you've got this big parcel shelf and headrests. Headrests, which you can take out and get a bit more space. Why am I saying take the headrest out? You can take the parcel shelf out and fold the seats down. In fact, let me show you. So you've got this lovely leather seats. They're perforated in the middle, which is good for not getting sweaty, I suppose. Seats fold like so. Okay, now I'll just let you know this car hasn't been valeted. It's had a quick sort of service wash in aid of the photos, because I was really running out of time today to get this all online. Roof's all free from dents. You're probably thinking, how would you get dents on roofs? Well, recently I've seen a lot of cars with hail damage, so I'm always looking at roofs now. It's almost like a paranoia. I've got a height adjustable driver and passenger seat. The passenger seat, it's manual. Driver's seat is electric, and I'll come around and show you. You've got the BOSE premium sound system, which is a part of the spec on the sports. Mazda are very generous with the specification on these vehicles. And there's a tiny little scuff just here, which I'll have tended to, but the car, very presentable. And I do like this because this is a facelifted car, got a nicer front end. Yes, I do need to speak about that. So in I would say about middle of 2016, now I could be wrong, I've been in this in the Mazda world for a long time, and it seems like yesterday, they facelifted this car where you got an electric handbrake, just like a nicer interior, revised front end, and you've got LED lights as opposed to the Xenons. So if you're looking at a car that's got the headlight washers, it's an earlier car, they've got Xenon headlights, very good, but the LEDs have got the edge. I think they're marvellous. It's like having a new pair of eyes when you drive a car at night. The car has keyless entry, so you don't need to get the key out to open the car, and when you walk away there is an option, a setting, which I'll get to when we get in the car, which will automatically lock the car when you walk away. Right, let's have a look at this side. So it's all in, yeah, very nice condition. There's no unpleasant smells. It's all good. Definitely a non-smoker's car. I've got a bit of a sensitive nose when it comes to that. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got an 8-way electric seat. Now let's get in and warm up, because it does feel very cold today. Right. Right, now where did I put those keys? So I hid the keys in the centre console where there's these cup holders and the locking wheel nut. So that's all present and correct. 2 keys with, there we go, Invicta, Tunbridge Wells, which then I think went to Lifestyle, or maybe called Hendy's now. I don't know. That's a fact. I don't think they're there anymore. Now, when you put the clutch down, this little light lights up, and it's to let you know, look, the car recognises there's a key. You press the button and the car fires into life. Oh, well, just to let you know, I haven't yet known any Mazda's keys to be, you know, sort of cloned or zapped. You know, you hear all these horror stories. Doesn't seem to apply to us. Maybe the thieves don't want our cars, or perhaps I don't know. They're a little bit more sophisticated. I really don't know. So your steering column's all in good condition. It is also heated, so I'm going to turn that on and leave that on. And I'm also going to turn my heated seats on. So you've got 3-stage heated seats and a heated steering wheel. That's brilliant, because my hands are freezing. Here's the mileage, 50,414 miles. And look at this here. Look, previous owner has averaged 39.5 mpg at 27 miles an hour. Okay, so on a long run, imagine that. It's going to be 45, 47, 48, maybe 50 to the gallon, depending on how you drive. So, I just want to highlight a plus point of these cars. It's 4-cylinder. Now, a lot of cars now are coming with 3-cylinder, very, very small engines. This is to get the lower emissions and the better fuel consumption. However, I don't think it really works, because you get these little engines and you end up working them really hard. They end up getting worn out and have reliability problems, and you don't get great fuel consumption. Mazda, this is going to sound really cheesy, their slogan is to defy convention. So Mazda said, you know what, we're going to make bigger engines. Here's a 2-litre, where these normally, on the previous Mazda 3s, were 1.6s. We'll make a 2-litre, but we're going to make it as efficient as a much smaller engine. And they have succeeded, yeah? And to give you an idea, if this car was registered pre the 1st of April 2017, the road tax on this car would only be £30. So that'll give you an idea of how clean this car is. Now, we get and nothing wrong. We get them in part exchange. Ford Focuses with these EcoBoost 1 litre engine, these Seats and VWs with these very small engines, but they just don't feel very smooth because they're 3-cylinder, and you're always sort of really sort of working them hard. Okay, now you've got climate control, dual zone, works very well. You have a CD player. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, CD player's not a new thing, but a lot of cars they're being deleted from. If you bought a brand new Mazda 3, it won't have a CD player. So if CDs are your thing, this is the car for you, amongst obviously lots of other benefits. 6-speed gearbox. It's a very precise. It's not like stirring porridge, which I remember somebody describing his gear change as being like. But yeah, very nice, very easy indeed. Clutch is very light. You've got this human interface here, which will allow you to navigate this MZD Connect system. Okay, now this is touchscreen, but I always say don't use it as a touchscreen. You'll get finger marks on it, and also it only works as a touchscreen when the car is stationary for obvious reasons. But with this, you'll be able to navigate, you know, the MZD, which will have your radio, DAB radio, FM, Bluetooth, sat nav, etc, etc. Not that I'm promoting you distract yourself whilst you're driving, but it is a much safer method. So on the apps page, let's have a look. You've got fuel economy, honestly, we've kind of been through that. The car has sorry, no, we will go into that. The car does have iStop. Okay, so when the car is, like, I've got all the heated seats on, I've got the heated steering wheel, I've got the climate control on, so this is stating not ready. Okay, so when that goes to a ready status, you don't have to sort of watch it, but when it goes to a ready status, probably when there's not as much load on the battery, the engine will turn off when you're stationary. Yeah, and then the moment you put the clutch back down to move away, it will start up very seamlessly, and off you go. So it will save fuel. Okay, I mean, ultimately it's to save the environment, but I think really the benefit a lot of people will be looking at is it's saving me money, especially with the cost of living crisis. Okay, now if you think, oh no, I don't want a car that does that, because, you know, if you've not changed your car for a while, it's a new thing, you can switch it off there just with a touch of a button. Okay, now on this app page, you can actually upgrade this car to have Apple CarPlay. So you'll get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto here, or CarPlay and Android Auto, I think it says. And then you can navigate your apps through this system. Okay, the apps on your smartphone, so you can use perhaps the navigation system that you prefer. You can access WhatsApp, etc, etc. But this car has a built-in sat nav, which we'll come to in a minute. Now, if you want that, let us know, and before you pick the car up, we'll fit it for you. Now, let me go to, here we go, source. So you've got FM, AM, DAB radio. Now, if you've not explored DAB, I encourage you to do so, because it's kind of made sort of CDs and things redundant for me, because you can always find something, well, I could always find something on here to entertain me. So you've got, they call them assembles, so I'm just updating that. And that's sort of like the group of channels. You've got Surrey, national, local channels, and you've got so many, look, Eagle 80s, Eagle 70s, all in digital quality, of course. Heat Surrey, Heart Surrey, Heat Surrey, beg your pardon. Gospel radio, absolute, you know, there's something here for everyone, I should imagine. Okay. So you've got that, and if you're a sports fan, you can listen to Talk Sport with digital clarity. I could never understand how people could listen to the sports in such poor quality. Once you've paired your phone up, you can access your call lists. But if you have an Android phone, it will also notify you and give the option to have your text read out to you. The navigation is great. It's dead easy. Put your postcode in and off you go. Now, on all my previous videos, I always say this, I have used this system to navigate my way to the Tatra Mountains, which is the natural border between Poland, Slovakia and the Czech Republic, and it's done me a treat. Now, obviously, I didn't know a postcode. It doesn't work like that there, but you can go via country town, street name, etc. And I never got lost. So, and I'm quite easily lost. Okay, so great sat nav system. Okay, and you've got, you know, you can look at find places, petrol stations, etc., etc. And that's a very topical thing, and something I'm very conscious of because I see so many sort of variations of fuel prices. So I'm always looking out, you know, for the best. This heads-up display, which will have your basic sat-nav function, speed, warnings, etc. You can adjust the position there, as well as the brightness, etc., etc. So lots of things there. Display functions, safety functions. You've got smart city braking. It'll apply the brake, should be doing under 20 miles an hour to avoid collision. Sound settings, a GPS sync clock, rain senses, wipers. So a very well spec car. Okay, very well spec, excellent service history. Oh, I almost forgot. So here we go. There you go. So 9th of August, it had its PDI, it had 2 miles on it. Then the following March, so rather prematurely actually, at 6,641 miles, had its first service. Then in July 19, at 22,214, it had its second service. And then again in 2020, at 30, 20, 21, at 37, and it's now due one now, which we shall do. And then this car will be covered by the Mazda ZZ Plus used car warranty, which also encapsulates roadside assistance, European cover, home start, you know, a real comprehensive roadside assistance, not one of these complimentary bare bones one where you've got to sort of upgrade it for it to be any good. Right, a few things. Now, we are a very customer focused company. Check out our reviews, please do. If you've not dealt with us before, look at our reviews, and should you be out of area, that might be useful to you. We do a lot of long distance sort of selling, so do check out our reviews. It'll give you a good idea of who you're doing business with. We want you to be happy when you drive away or take delivery of your car. And we want you to have a seamless, enjoyable buying experience, which is why we encourage part exchange. And despite what you hear on these heavily advertised online companies, you will get the best deal part exchanging with us. But please do punch your reg number in and, you know, get a valuation in 5 seconds or whatever they claim these days, and get in touch with us. We want your part exchange, okay? And it doesn't have to be a Mazda or a Suzuki or anything, you know, anything we have in our franchise. It can be non-franchise. I have a gentleman today coming to look at an A-class Mercedes. It's about 18 months old, you know, and if you look at our used car offering, we've got all sorts of wonderful things, which makes the job very enjoyable, because we get to do different things and see different things, etc. Okay, so we've done part exchange. You know about the warranty. We have great finance facilities, delivery facilities, online consultation, etc., etc. Now, if there's anything you'd like to know about this vehicle, and should you be looking at the car outside our regular business hours, don't let that prevent you from inquiring. We want, we encourage you, just pick up the phone, leave a voicemail. We will pick it up. We will come back to you. Okay, provided it's not 3 in the morning, of course. I cannot stay up till that time. And or drop us an email. We will come back to you 7 days a week. You know, please do. I know, you know, we've had a lot of people who work nights, or a bit of night owls, and you know, they send messages, and you know, we'll come back to them as soon as we see them. So please do that. Okay, so I want to thank you for watching the video. I've really enjoyed doing it because we really don't get many of these at all. And if you don't believe me, check out our website. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.